Kwanza kama sana sana kama baba na provide kwa mtoto wake, kwa nini asione mtoto wake? A lot of like stress, depression, thoughts of like suicidal and anxiety that it felt like unending. It felt like a cycle, like it was circling around me. And so I remember like, and it was more because Jesus has always loved me, but I have never loved Jesus. That's the truth.
Emo Talk Show. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Emo Talk Show. My name is Tulia, and I'm your host on Emo Talk. We discuss all issues impacting the African diaspora, and today we'll be doing another one of those. But before we get there, I would like to introduce my guest to you guys. This is a young lady that is a practicing Christian. I say a practicing Christian because oftentimes we say we are Christians, but we're not doing the deed. And so I'm saying she's practicing because she is deliberately, intentionally, purposefully doing it. And also because she's willing to share something that is special to her with us. And also she is a mom and she is a daughter and loves everything that she's doing. And I'm looking so forward to getting to know her more with you guys. And so if you could please introduce yourself, your name, and anything else you would like to share with us.
Sure. So hi, my name is Rusi. I am from Uganda. I have a small business that I run, and that's all.
Yeah. Rusi, thank you so much for coming and wanting to talk to me, especially about the intersection between being a mom, a business owner, and a full-time worker.
Yeah.
I really am looking forward to this conversation. And before we get to that conversation, you guys, if this is your first time here, hey, respect yourself. Go ahead and subscribe. Like, it's not a big deal. Kitu rahisi sana. Unaenda tunafanya. And then share this video with a family member, a friend, or anyone you feel like might like something like this. I would really appreciate it. Before we get into the topic, I want to ask you a question. You want to play a game?
Sure.
Do you want to play a game?
Sure. Girl, yeah, go for it.
Let me ask you. This is going to be a history question. I want to see how much you know your African history.
Girl, no. I'm not good with history or geography.
Let's see how much you know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
No.
My question is, who was the first Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo? The independence leader. The person that led the country to leadership.
Girl, I was a baby.
You were not born. I hope you were not born. But
I was not.
He's very famous. A lot of people are named after him.
Is it?
Try.
This is gonna go viral. Is it Papa Lumumba?
Yes!
Girl, I was not ready for that. I was born in Congo, but I moved when I was little, so this is I'm like, okay.
We wanted to put your mother to a test, and she passed.
My mom does not know this.
Your parents were put to a test, and I hope they are proud of you because you knew the answer.
Okay.
The Prime Minister, the first Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of the Congo is Patrice Lumumba.
Yes.
If you don't know who that is, please go look him up. Okay. All right. So now moving on.
Okay, thank you. Because I was sweating. I was getting heated. I was like, like the question.
I'm so sorry.
Girl, I'm not good with history.
I'm so sorry.
Having so much fun.
Yeah, so the first question I would like to ask you, because we want to get to know how you are able to manage running a business and being a mom and all of these. How did you, what inspired you to start a small business? And what is your small business? What do you do?
So, guys, the inspiration behind my business is that I always loved beauty. Like growing up, in Africa. I grew up in a small village in Uganda, in a refugee camp. That I used to see like people like wearing makeup at the church, but I felt like they were rich, and I felt like I couldn't afford it. I don't know if you know like henna. I used to take like henna on. I just put on my nails, you know, for like the nails.
So your nails can be painted.
Yes, and I'll take like chalks, like black chalks, and I just paint on my eyebrows.
Oh wow!
And I'll get like red candies, and I'll just put on my lips to like create like red lipsticks. So ever since I was a little girl, I knew that I love beauty. I knew that I love creating things, but I saw my mom into like business industry where she used to like sell small things in Africa. So and she drew me into like that. And so that made me like love
the business aspect
of it, and how to manage the money, how to manage how business works and all that. And so that was the whole inspiration behind my business. It's called Rusi Beauty, which I do lip gloss, eyelashes, and mostly the lip gloss, I make them myself.
Wow.
I have 6 different lip gloss, and one of the famous lip gloss that is known is this one is called Joy, that it changes color based on the pH of your skin, and it's also a stain. And then this one is called Clear Mind, which is like it's non-sticky and
Clear money.
Clear Mind.
Oh, mind.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay. I like the name.
And most of the lip glosses, the names are inspired by the Bible names, and so for me it was more of like I love beauty, but also I'm a fast girl and all that. So that's my business, and so go ahead and support your girl. And I'm just like new into like the business industry. So
okay,
yeah,
I love the inspirational story behind that. I remember growing up in Africa, and like all of our parents, all of our moms were like business owners.
Yeah.
Like I don't know whose mom was not a business owner. Like everybody owned a small business to try and like, navigate life in a refugee camp and whatnot. But like they'll put you on as a sales girl.
Yeah.
You'll sell, like you learn those entrepreneurship skills. So that's really dope that you're using that.
Yeah.
I like that for you.
Yeah, so it's from my mom, like always like how she managed life and selling small things, and then she taught me how to do it because I used to follow her at the store, and I saw every aspect that came with it, and then I fell in love with it. And so that's why I'm like, I love beauty and I love business at the same time. It's like, what do I do? Because I had to go with the beauty industry, cosmetic. So yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Did you when you first started, did you feel supported by your family, friends?
I have like really, really good friends that are very supportive from my church. They are very encouraging, even with like scriptures, prayers, and they always ask like, how can I be praying for you? How are you doing the business? And so that means a lot to me, because it also reminds me, what is the reason? What am I doing this? So I have like a really supportive friends. So at the beginning, of course, it's hard. Everything is hard at the beginning. I mean, it's still hard because I'm still learning more about business and how to manage the whole business. But I have like friends from church who help me with the website, like photos. My young sister, her name is Esther. She takes photos of the lip gloss because I don't know how to take pictures. So she takes the photos, and then have like friends from my church, of course, who prays for me and encourages me with the Bible scriptures, and also like with encouragement words. So yeah, but also my mom, she's very supportive of my business. She does a lot of fasting for my business with my auntie in Africa. They do a lot of prayers, and she does a lot of fasting for me, and that means really a lot for me, because that woman there with her prayer and her prayer closet is just like has been I can see the result of the prayer. And so for me, I feel really supported, to be honest. It's just like breaking into, like the big world where people see it. It's just I'm not there yet. So, yeah.
No, I like what you said. And what I'm hearing is that like support comes in many forms.
Yes. Yeah.
Support can come through prayers. Support can come through funds.
Yeah.
Support can come through somebody using their skills to like bring your idea to life. And so for those of you maybe watching this episode, and sometimes you feel like you're not supported by your loved ones, just look around and with different lens, right? With a different perspective. See what is it that they may be doing for you that you may not be noticing because they're not giving you the support that you maybe want or perceive has support. And so you're thinking that like, no, they're not doing anything for me. And just kudokeza pale, kama unawaga naangalia Emo Talk Show na unapenda tunachokifanya, uwezi ukatusupport kupitia fedha au kitu chengine, unaweza ukatuombea, tuombee, tuweke kwenye maombi. Like, I really like that.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, for sure. No,
okay.
Honestly, I've been supported by a lot of prayers, and so for me, hicho ni kitu kia muhimu sana, like wakati watu wanapiga magoti wanakuombea, hata kama una fedha za kunani kumsupport mtu, unaweza kupiga magoti na muombea kwa sababu leo huyu mtu anapata na wewe kesho ni wewe. So I think that's really good. But also shout out to my friend Hayden for helping me with the website, because that was a huge struggle. So it's all to say that God has you on a place where he wants you to be at a moment, but at the right time the Lord makes it happen, and that's what he did. Because I was struggling with the website because I couldn't figure it out. And so a friend of mine, Hayden from church, he helped me with the website, and I'm truly so grateful for that.
It sounds like you have a really supportive church community.
Yes, I do.
I'd like to dive into that. Like, have you always been a practicing Christian?
So, I mean, I could share a little bit about my testimony and how I've been saved. I mean, I have gone through a lot, like through my childhood, and a lot of like stress, depression, thoughts of like suicidal and anxiety that it felt like unending. It felt like it's never gonna end. It felt, I don't know, it felt like a cycle, like it was circling around me. And so I remember like 3 years ago, when I went back to my mom's house, that was after like my long-term relationship that I was in after the breakup, which was like the hardest thing that I ever go through in life. So I went back to my mom, and then I had a mom. She's American. Her name is Kathy. She has always encouraged me through the whole process of like faith and believing in God. But for me, it felt like God wasn't real in my life, because I didn't feel him at that moment. I felt like it was just
and you didn't feel like God was helping you.
Yeah, for me, it felt more of like fairy tales, like, or stories that people tell us, like, because I never like encountered with God, if that makes sense. But she encouraged. So someday when I went back to my mom's home, she was like, "Do you want to come to church with me?" And I was like, "Kind of," but I'm like, it's a fairy tale where people like to force their religion. They had to force the religion towards like other people. And so I was like, I'm gonna come just because I respect you. And so I went with her that Sunday, and then they were going through a book of Luke, and that book has changed me. And then I felt something. I felt like that's the moment that I encountered the Holy Spirit. If I could say, that was the moment that I knew God was real. And so we have 20s in my church. It's a ministry that I attend every Thursday. And so I kept attending that and then learning. We have like life groups that I go through, and more and more. And then that's how, doing like more Bible studies, reading, and then I start picking up my Bible and having like old women surrounding me. That's how I came to know Jesus and came to know that God is real. He is active. He cares about us, and he sees our struggles. And so for me, it was more of like, yes, this is what I've been looking for. And then
and I found it.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah. So,
congrats.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. Yeah. If you don't mind, so then how did that help you with your anxieties and depression and suicidal thoughts? Like, how did that help you? And like, obviously, like if you're running a business, you are at a better mental headspace.
Yeah.
How did you reach that place?
So honestly, the suicidal thought was more of like problems that I went through, like before I came to know Jesus. And it was more because Jesus has always loved me, but I have never loved Jesus. That's the truth. So Jesus has always been there for me, but for me it was more of like what makes me happy and what I want at the moment. And so when I went back, as I said, that woman named Kathy, I called her mom. And she has always pursuing me with the passion of the Bible. Jesus loves you, this and this. But for me, it was more of like, how do I know Jesus is real if I have gone through all of this? And so even like friends at the church encouraging me with the Bible study, I had to attend every Thursday. Even like sometimes I felt like I didn't want to go because I felt the burden of like feeling unclean. I felt dirty about my past. And also, you know, being a single mom, you know, umeachana na bwanako hapo then unaenda tena kunyumba. So at that moment, I felt like I didn't belong, but I had like people in my church that were encouraging me. And my mom, she has always been a prayer warrior. So she will pray for me all the time. And then also Kathy, she will pray for me. And so those women, and then I remember I think like almost 2 years ago, I met this woman named Debbie, which is my mentor right now. She mentors me. That woman also changed my life because she has always pointed me to like scriptures, like back to the Bible, back to Jesus. And then, so having those people around me who never leave me, who always like support me through that thick and thin and tell me the truth in love, even if I don't want to hear about it, they speak the truth and also speaking life into my life. And then that's how I saw Jesus in my existing. So, yeah. But,
That's, I'm really happy for you. Like, I'm getting emotional because just listening to you is like,
so
oh my gosh.
You're so sweet.
No, I'm really glad that like there are people out there who are genuine about like pouring onto others.
Yes.
And helping people through the tough things of life.
Yeah.
We need each other. We need each other to like, to survive. We need each other to be able to do well. Like just because nimeanguka haijamaanisha kwamba nimefia chini. Like ukinikokota, ukinisimamisha. I remember kuna wimbo nani wa Upendo Mkone amesema eti usifurahi juu ya mateso yangu. Like usifurahi juu yangu. Like nikikosewa, nikianguka, niombe.
Yes. I know the song. I love the song too.
Oh my gosh. And that's what I'm hearing. Your mother, regardless of what you went through, she went on her feet and she prayed and she didn't get tired of praying for you until she was able to pull you out of the gutters. Sometimes it's the prayers of those who love and care for us that pulls us out of our worst moment. I'll share with everyone here. I went through like really bad depression a couple years back, and I'm always so grateful for the people that went on their prayers. They didn't ask me. Sometimes I don't want to talk. Sometimes people don't want to talk. Sometimes they don't want to tell anyone what's going on because they don't even comprehend what's going on with them. Because in as much as we like to like say like depression, they're demonic spirits, right? And you don't want to share those parts of you. And so when you do get people that are willing to go on their knees and pray for you, man, keep people like that. So tell your mom and your Kathy and Debbie that somebody out there is thankful for them. Because of them, you can thrive in your life.
I'm thriving.
Yes, and you look good, sis. You look good.
Thank you.
No, I'm for real.
Thank you.
You look good. I've gotten too emotional. I know that you're still working full time. You are creating this by yourself. And you are a single mom. How do you manage the responsibility that comes with all of the three?
Honestly, it's hard. Nothing comes easy in this life, but at the same time, I spend a lot of time praying. I ask God, what's my next move? It's hard, but for me, how I do it, I would say, knowing life is going to get better. What is the reason? What is the why behind of what I do? Because the Bible says in the book of Proverbs, he who does not work, you cannot eat. You can't eat.
A lazy man shall suffer.
So I don't want to be lazy and I don't want to be consumed by the circumstances in life and tell myself that I can't work. And so I have a child that depends on me. Though like the father of the child does provide for the baby, but the child depends on me like 80%, and I have to be there for my child, also for my mom. And so for me, it's not a problem. I love I work full-time the job, but I also work through this. It's not a big problem. As I said, I have people who helps me when I have questions about things, and I'm truly so grateful for like the friendship that I have, because it's not only supportive through the prayer, but also with advice. How can I help you? How can I be praying for you? So that's how I'm able to manage the whole business and also full-time job. But also my mom, I'm gonna keep giving my mom like shout out, like I know everybody love their mom. Everybody have like good moms, but mine is just like on
extra
another
special
level. Like she's selfless. She's selfless. Mamangu na roho. Kuna wa mama,
alafu kuna mama yako.
Kuna mama yangu. Mama yangu, I'm telling you, it's just one of a kind. My mom, selfless, takes care of my baby 24/7. And so that's why I even have time to even go to church and do things that I do, serve at the church, is because my mom is with my baby 24/7, and I'm truly so grateful for that. I have like supportive family, so that's why I'm able to like run the business and also do the food time, is because my mom is behind me, helping me. So I can't do everything by myself, and I'm truly so grateful that the Lord has been like so kind to have given me the mother that I have, because I know kuna mama wenye wanapenda watoto wao sikatai, lakini wanawatesa na mizigo ya pembeni, like you know, ile fanya hivi, yani mpaka hauna freedom, unaona. Lakini mama yangu ananipatia ule uhuru wa kufanya ambacho mimi nakipenda na nakisupport, anasema mtoto wangu nakuombea, nitafanya maombi so that.
Do you think that kwamba kunaweza kuwa watu wenyewe wanasema sema okay, ndio maana alirudiaka kunyumba juu mama yake hakuna take care ya mtoto?
You know, na mimi sikuwaga najali wenye watu wanafikiria. Kwa sababu ukishaweka masikio yako kwenye wenye watu wanasikia, sana si African. Hatukuwaga na supportiana, ni watu wenye tunakuwaga na negative thoughts all the time. Hatufikiriage na ni positive. So mimi mtakikaa na sema eti hiyo ndio sababu ambayo nimerudia nyumbani kwetu. It doesn't concern me. Kwa at the end of the day mtu analala kwao na mimi nalala nyumbani kwetu. Hanijue kindani, haunijue mimi ni nani. Unaniangalia kwenye mtandao,
unanisikia.
Yeah, unanisikia. Akina hujawahi kunijua tu kwa marafiki. So at the end of the day watu wanakuwa wanabadilika, but mama yangu hakuna mzazi anaweza kumshauri mtoto wake eti arudie kunyumba. Hapana. And I'm not saying that mimi niko very proud kwa sababu niliachanaga na nani na mpenzi wangu. Hapana. So nikasema eti nafurahi kwa kitu, but at the end of the day kuna vitu ambavyo vinatokea kwenye maisha ambayo
lazima uchukue maamuzi.
Yeah, maamuzi, lazima uchukue maamuzi mazito. You also have to look out for yourself. You know, you have to look out for yourself, and also have to look out for my child. So mama yangu, kwanza kipindi nirudiaga, hakukuwa anajua alinipataga nyumbani. Although I don't want to talk about it so much, but mama yangu hajawahi kunisupport kuachana na bwana yangu, but anisupport maisha, like my life in general. Na mtoto. But mambo ya kuachana na mpenzi wangu hapana. Kwa sababu wangu alikuwa nampenda sana. Hata kwa sababu ndio nilikuwa nasikia wivu. Alikuwa nampenda sana. And to this day mama wangu akingana nampenda. So we family, we cool. So
being a parent, right?
Yeah.
Na being a single mom.
Yes.
In the United States is very hard.
Yes.
I work in a school setting, so I get to see children who are coming from a single parent household.
Yeah.
And those kids are different, right?
Yeah.
There's something that's missing. How do you make sure that you are creating a safe space for your child and healthy boundaries with your child's father to make sure that you're creating a safe environment for your child to grow up in?
At the beginning, it was not easy. It was not easy, like communication-wise, because of, like, there was like so much hurt that was still there between us. And, but at the end of the day, it's not about us when it comes to the child.
Say that again.
You know, it's about...
Say that again. I want you to say that again. And I want you to tell us why it's no longer about you. Because there are many women who, once it is done with the father and they get so much hurt from the father, or like the father gets hurt from the mom, they just cut all ties. Tell us why.
So, as I said, it's not about us like being hurt or about us being loved. No, it's about the child. See, when we create this child, we want love. We loved each other. It didn't come from hatred. And so when we create this child, what is the way we're going to raise this baby to know the value that, yes, my parents are not together, but they loved each other. When I came to this world, they loved each other. So for me, I told the father of my child, see, we're not together, but I want you to feel comfortable whenever you want to talk to your child. Call me. We're not going to talk about us. Do not remind me about me and you. We're going to talk about the baby. Talk to your child. Especially kama mtoto kingali mdogo, ni vigumu kwa sababu na mkingana hiyo na nili attention ni kwanza mnatoka kuachana. So mtoto unamuita unaongea naye, unampatia, unaongea na mtoto wake kidogo. Kama mtoto ataongea dakika 5, dakika 10, na kama atakata simu ni vyake. Mtoto kama anaanza kumara sasa, mtoto wangu anaongea, anampigia simu, wanaongea. So usipende kwa sababu wewe na mtu wako mmeachana ndo mtoto anaanza kumchukia baba yake. Sidhani kama ni sawa. So if you guys are done, set boundaries. You can see your child. It's not about me. It's about the child. So creating that healthy boundary between you and the father of your child to like spend time with the baby if they want to.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good thing to say, especially sasa hivi mjamii yetu kwenye tuko tunaona like mandoa za mingi ziko zinavunjika na juu zinavunjika misingi yenyewe iko ya mzuri, unakutana kabisa ile mahusiano ya baba na watoto, especially baba na watoto, because nasema baba na watoto kwa sababu mara nyingi batu wawili wakiachana, mama ndo anaendaka na watoto. Na Marekani inaheshimisha mwanamke mwa hiyo njia. Kama watoto wangali under the age of like 10 especially, banaona aseme like mtoto anastahili kuwa na nani? Kuwa na mama yake. So kwa hiyo juu serikali inapatia mwanamke hiyo majukumu. Yes, hata kama utakuwa namsaidia mtoto kifedha, it's not the same thing as you being pale, right? So kuko mwanamke mamingi kwa kamata ile nani aseme nimkomoe sasa. Alinitesa hivi, alifanya hivi mundoa, so nipite na mkomoa, asikuwa naona mtoto wake, au hata kama atakuwa naona mtoto, na kumpatia mtoto franga. Some people still decide.
Can I say this to you?
Yeah.
You know, you do not create, love does not come from hatred. You can never create anything beautiful out of hatred. Hata kama unamchukia mtu, at the end of that day, ukumbuke mazuri yake, because people has their own good that they have done in life. Na mwisho wa siku kumbuka mabaya ya watu itasababisha unaishi na kitu kuroho, yani kinakuuma kila siku kimona, and then mtoto anakuja kumana na roho ya mbaya. So kwanza kama sana kama baba na provide kwa mtoto wake, kwa nini asione mtoto wake umemzara yeye peke? So hiyo kukomarisha mtoto anajua kama kweli niko na baba, haiko na mama yangu waliachana, lakini bado mimi najua wote wananipenda na hawana chuki. So upendo haujengwi ndani ya chuki. So mimi naweza nikasema tu kama mtu anaachana na mtu, basi achane kwa ubaya, wakiachana huo ubaya wao wenye waliachana nao usiendelee kujengeka, ili mtoto akomare kwenye mazingira yenye iko na upendo, like healthy ways. So
Okay. Rusi, thank you so much for sharing that. I like the point you said about like not ending at a bad term. Like just because you've ended a relationship, you shouldn't end the relationship between the father and the child.
Yes.
And may I ask, like, is your kid a daughter or a son?
It's a daughter.
It's a daughter.
Every
Every daughter needs their father.
Yes.
My father left me when I was very young, and I really wish that I could have them.
Yeah.
Right? With me, because every girl is a daddy's girl. Like, every girl needs a dad.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And another thing I'll say is that, like, to men that may be watching this, and maybe you're going through whatever it may be that you're going through with the woman that you have a child with, or you were married to, whatever the situation was, you may break off the relationship with the mother of your kid, but never break off the relationship with your child.
Yeah.
Never break that off. It is better for one's father to be dead than one's father to be alive and abandon or neglect their child. So if you're a dad and you haven't seen your kid in a while, please reach out. Like, that's just my message to you guys. Just reach out, okay? I would like to talk to you about is to just share a little bit of like your journey with motherhood and how African people have perceived you after you left the shared home with your ex or your kid's father. What are some stigmas that we have in the African community about, I don't want to use baby mama because that's not within our culture.
I don't know like that.
But like being a single mom and making that decision to leave and raise the child separately, like co-parent.
Yeah.
Like what struggles have you had with that personally, or like what are some struggles you see other single mom face because of that?
I personally, to be honest, there's no struggles that I struggle with that it's so much to the point that I'm like, I can't do it. But as I said in the beginning, I am not able to do this without my mom. So that I'm just gonna be honest and vulnerable with you guys. I don't think I will be able to do this without my mom. But also, the struggles that I see is like when the babies get sick, and then I'm the only one like struggling with that, and I'm like, if the father was here, they would have been doing this ABC do, and then now I'm the one who like struggling with this. But as I said, I have a mom who supports me to a thick and thin. And so and also my siblings in general, I'm like, hey, the kid is sick, I need medication, I need this. So my siblings will get that for me. So I don't struggle with that. Although for other people it's different. Everybody's situation is different. Right. Do you understand? And so, but even like the word single mom itself, it's not the best word that anybody wants to carry
to be described
on. Yeah, for me personally, that has been a challenge, and that's why I had like old women from my church that I talked to. I'm like, I struggle with this, like being a single mom, where I feel like the burden. I'm like, okay, I'm just the one who broke up with the father of my child, and I'm raising the kid by myself. Especially like, I don't know if you guys can see that dynamic of like the rate of like Black women. There's a lot of them like single moms, and I do not understand why. And then I end up like being in that category, but the struggle,
it's nothing you wished on yourself.
No, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody, to be honest, because raising a child by yourself, of course, is not fun, because raising a child with a father, it's more beautiful because the baby get to like witness like the love between like both parents being together. But I wouldn't also advise somebody to be in toxic relationship that
for the sake of the
child, just because I know like us in African community, when you're a single mom, they see you in a different angle. Huyo ni malaya, amerudia kwao kwa sababu anapenda kuwa na wanaume, baba, kwa nini akulea mtoto na baba mtoto wako?
Kwa nini
akuvumilia? And they misuse that word uvumilivu, like submission. In African community, they misuse that so much to the point that it's like, do not use that word submission if you do not know the meaning of that. Because when the Bible talks about submission, it does not talk about people have to go through things that they shouldn't be going through. Because, for example, huyo mwanamke ambaye unamtesa is the daughter of God. And would God feel good on how the person is treating that person? So I feel like you shouldn't have to stay in a toxic relationship that you feel like you're gonna die with depression or anxiety, or you just can't take it for the sake of raising a child with somebody.
And also, it's not good for your kid.
It's not.
A lover of kids. Like, I love children, and that's why I work in the school system. And I say it's not good for children because children who are raised in those kind of environments, they grow up to believe that that is the right way of living. They normalize that behavior. They take it to be what's true. My parents did this, so I can do this. So oftentimes you have like young girls who go seeking love, who go seeking for love in all the wrong places because of how their mom was treated or because of how their dad treated them. You have a young man now putting his hands on a woman and all these other things because ndo vitu wenye waliona munyumba. So when we say, wakati tuko tunaambia banamke bavumilie, ni kitu gani yenye tuko tunawaambia bavumilie? Like, what are we telling them to sit there for and tolerate, right? So, nafikiria kwamba ni vitu vigumu mu jamii yetu beko na ina ni my mom, like I said, my dad passed away when I was younger, right? So we've been raised by our mom alone. And there are some ways that like people will talk about that dynamic of our family in such a negative tone. And they make you feel like, for me, this is how I feel as an adult, like it's a crime that my dad passed away. So they'll say so many things that a woman can't raise children right.
Yeah.
That like, because I'm being raised by a woman, I behave in this certain manner.
Yeah.
Like I do these certain things because I was raised by a woman.
Yeah.
So it's a way to trump on women. It has nothing to do with the fact that like uko na watoto mwenyewe. It's just a way kuweka mwanamke chini na kuonyesha sema like mwanamke sio abastahili, you know?
Yes.
No?
But also it's also, I feel like in our community, like African community, banakuwaga na shusha mwanamke sana, wanaonaga kama sio watu wenye biko na value sana, which I disagree with that so much. I think a woman can raise kids and they could turn out to be good. Yes, I agree that it's good for a man and a woman to raise kids by themselves. But there's
that is how it's meant to be.
Yeah, but there's certain situation that it's out of your control, that you cannot control. And if it happens, it's just like,
you have to deal with it.
And also, for me, negative thoughts about like the whole community, ile kuongeana vibaya, it does not affect me anything. Kwa sababu kama mtu haukulie kwake, hajui nani situations unakuwa unapitia, haulale kwake, hakuvishe, it shouldn't bother you so much to the point that it stresses you out. Because at the end of the day, mwenye anajua mabaya yako na mazuri yako ni mtu yenye iko familia yako yenye inahangaika na wewe. Unaona?
I like
so
that.
Me, it does not stress me out if people talks about me. Yes, kuna watu wananitaga majina kipindi naachana na mwenzangu, but me naye tuko marafiki, we cool. But at the end of the day, I look what is the right thing to do for me and my child. As you said, iyo unatakuwa unafanya kitu mtoto anakomala anaangalia nasema ndio mimi naelewa kwa nini mamangu aliondokaga, mimi naelewa kwa nini waliachanaga. Kwa sababu kuna mambo mengine mtoto anaweza kukomala hapo kwa sababu ya ile chuki, anaona ile nani ile chuki yenye kwa tia wazazi wanaishi tu kwa sababu ya ile kumavumiliana basi. Anasema yeah, it's okay. And then for me, I think you also, when you grow up, you tend to attract the same thing that your parents did. I'm like, okay, kama baba yako alikuwa mtu mwenye anapiga kama mama yako. It becomes a generational thing.
Yeah.
Kama baba yako alikuwa ni mtu anapiga kama mama yako, makofi na unaanza kumpiga mwanamke. Kama ni mkunywa pombe na unaanza kufanya hivyo. Kama ni mtu wa wanamke na unaanza kufanya hivyo. So I do not think that watu wanatakiwa kuishi pamoja kama like yani,
it's unsafe for both parties and your children.
But also si Afrika mingi tuko na wale tuko badogo sana, tunakimbilia mu nyumba. Tunakimbilia mu nyumba, unatoa mtu anatoka mnani high school ashakimbia tayari, ashaenda kuolewa. Haujajua mtu gani uko unaolewa naye ikwae, haujajua mwenyewe akili yako yenyewe ya develop, kwa sababu akili ya mtu kikawaida inakuwa na develop at the age of 25. And so I think kukimbilia mundoa na haujui mtu, but also the thing that I think inatu affect sana ni kutomjua Mungu. Watu wa mingi they claim to know God.
Na kutokuwa na uoga wa Mungu.
Yeah. Kutojua. So a lot of people, they don't have like the fear of God inside of them. And so bakishaanza kwenda kupendana kwenye mahusiano, and that's when a lot of guys tend to like banabadilika na mtu
bana mistreat
mtu amebadilika. But any relationship, even friendship, any relationship that is not built upon the
foundation of Christ,
God, it's never gonna work out. It's never gonna work out no matter how many times you try it. Is it that those people are faking around you, or you're faking, or you're lying to yourself? So even any relationship, and so for me personally, I'm not gonna speak for everybody because everybody's situation is different.
Right.
Mine didn't work out, was not built upon the foundation of Christ, and I think that was a big reason mine did not work out. And so I think because of that, even raising a child in that kind of like environment was not even healthier for my child. Okay. So I've been raising her, she's fine. she's God-fearing. She's really good.
Good
so,
for you.
Yeah.
Would you have said what you just said about marriage 3 years ago?
No, because I did not know. And as I said, my faith has been a big part of like the woman that I am today. And I would just encourage like young people to like get plugged in within like local churches and start like serving God and be intentional about what
your
they're
relationship
looking for,
with God,
and building like the relationship with God, and then after that, the Lord is gonna send you the right people in life. Because so that in the book of me, if you ask me, my favorite verse of all time is Jeremiah 29 verse 11. It says, For I know the
The
plans that I have for you,
says the
declares
Lord. Yes,
plans not to
man.
harm you, plans
But to prosper you.
Yes, and give you hope and future. So that verse has me all the time. The Lord knew what I was. It's because He had a future for me and my child. So for me, I don't care what people think about me. It's what God thinks of me. It's what He says about me.
It's what matters.
And that's what matters the most.
I like that. If you didn't hear anything, hear the fact that Rusi is saying that, like, yes, people are going to talk. Yes, people are going to say things. What matters the most is what God says about you and what you believe about yourself. It doesn't matter that people are saying, if you feel like you are making the best decision for your life, so be it.
Yeah.
So be it.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. So what advice would you give to a young person that maybe they has the inspiration to want to start a business but don't know how to start it? How did you wake up one day and just said, you know what, we're going to do this?
So I do read a lot of books. I used to hate reading. I still don't like reading. So sometimes I listen to like audiobooks, which has been helping. But for me, reading books and knowing what do you want to do. Do you want to do a business? Because there's people who start business just because somebody else started business. People who start business and then they are copying other people's
business ideas.
And it just doesn't work for you. You have to find something that stands out for you. I think God has given everybody a gift.
Talent.
And then use the gift that God has given you to create something that works for you. It could be business, it could be entrepreneur, it could be being a teacher, or different things. But if you feel like your calling is into like business, I'll just say, find things that you're more interested in, things that you enjoy. For example, for me, I love beauty. I love makeup. I love putting on makeup. I love, my lip gloss. That was the big reason why I started like
You love beauty.
I love, girl, I'm a beauty
Rusi's
girl.
beauty. We
Yes,
love it.
yes, girl. So that was the big reason I started like beauty industries, because that's my calling. That's what I love. I could talk to you about beauty like 24/7 without getting tired. So something that you feel that you
Passionate about.
Yeah, that you're passionate about, that you do without feeling burdened about it. I see that's your calling. It could be clothes, fashion. So start by that. Create like website. Find a community that supports you, and then find people that you look up to, that inspires you. Read the book, the biography, how did they get there, and then also in life, never look on people that you don't want to be like. So for example, for me, I have people that I look up to in the business industry is because they're already at the place that I want to be in life. So look up to somebody that you want to become, that you want to be like in the future, and look up to them. Do not look on the people who are failing in life, because those people always have so much to say.
Or the people that are at the same level as you. I always tell people, when I'm looking at where I want Emo Talk Show to go, I watch people like Oprah.
Yes.
And I'm like, someday, you know,
believe
like,
on yourself. Yeah,
like,
you gotta believe on yourself.
Do not look at the people that are doing the same thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Look at the people that are doing the things that you want to see. Begin with the end in mind. Like, think of what is your end. What does your end look like? Yeah. What are the examples of what your end looks like right now? So I really like that.
Yeah, and also reading books.
Like that.
Reading books. Yeah. I feel like people spend hours like scrolling. Yes, I'm guilty sometimes on social media, but I usually take like break from social media where I just like delete the app, get out of my social media. I'll do like reading, like listen to like audios. And I have like books that I could recommend for you guys, for people who's gonna start like business. One of them is Steve Harvey, Act Like Success and Think Like Success. That book's really good. The other one is called The Secret, and the other one is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's a really good book by Daniel Carnegie. That's a really good book. And also there's another book that I have listened to like the audio like twice. It's called Poor Dad and Rich Dad. That's a really good
Poor Dad and Rich Dad. That's
so
every entrepreneur's favorite book.
So I have so many books that I want to go through this year. And so listen to books and not spend time scrolling on social media. And then spend time in the Word of God. Make sure you're reading your Bible. You are plugging it with the church, and then you have people in the back that are encouraging you. And also find a mentor, because in African community, they do not know anything about mentor. You need to get a mentor who's gonna, if it's either like faith-based. Yeah.
You need a mentor for every part of your life.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah, get a mentor and then and praying God is gonna get you where He wants you to be in life. So,
yeah, I like those points. Thank you so much for that. And I feel like I tell this to you guys all the time. Read, read, read.
Yeah,
educate, educate,
Yes,
educate, educate.
yeah.
Kama hautaki kufundishwa, hautaki kuendelea.
Hautaki kuendelea.
You have to be willing kujifunza ili uje kufika sehemu ambapo unapotaka kuwa katika maisha.
Yes.
Rusi, thank you so much for coming and enlightening us and bracing us with your beauty. I love everything we did here. If you would like to share like your social medias, if you have any for the business, how do people reach out to you if they're wanting to, you know, get anything from you?
So on my social media, on my Instagram, I go by Rusi Salome, or it's Nikki Rusi Salome. And for the beauty business, I go for Rusi Beauty. And you can find that on, the link is going to be on my Instagram, but if you don't have Instagram, you could just go on Google and write rusibeauty.com and you're going to find me and purchase. And so if you could support me, guys, I would really appreciate that. So
no, for sure.
Yeah.
One last thing before we leave. Can you tell us what one, like, walk us through one of your busiest day? What does that look like?
One of my busiest days is definitely like Sunday. Sunday, because it's church in the morning, and after church, sometimes I go get food with friends or hang out with my friends and spend time with my daughter, my mom. We do a lot of worship with my mom, a lot of singing, and then after that, I sleep. So that's I would say that's kind of my busiest day. So it's on Sunday, or I watch movie with my family and all that. But
okay, so Sunday is dedicated to your faith and
my
family and friends.
Yeah, yes, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We love to see you come back. So please subscribe to our channel and follow us on all social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
TikTok is getting banned.
And YouTube. Please subscribe. I'm still crying for TikTok, guys.
It's getting banned.
It's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Much love from Emo Talk. Mwah.
Huwezi kumpenda, yani ili umpende mtu kwanza ujipende wewe mwenyewe. Ili uweze kusaidia ni lazima uanze kujisaidia mwenyewe. Utakuwa na uwezo wa kusaidia kama uwezo. Kama una uwezo huwezi kumsaidia kila mtu.
Emo Talk Show.